should work out. So the other day we did a talk about onboarding, and today we're going to talk about Redwoodjs. And when I say talk about it in this context, we're going to do a walkthrough on their demo. They have a little welcome to Redwood area. I'm going to basically start right from there. I'm going to walk through the tutorial. I'm going to get as far as I can get, and we'll see what happens. Okay. This is something I need to work on right now to become a little more accustomed to Redwood. So we'll learn it a little bit together. If you have any questions, you can send them to me here on Twitch, here on YouTube, or on Twitter. I guess I'm in all three places. If you're looking for the documentation, you can check it out right here. That's the start of the documentation, which I'll take. They also have a video that walks you through it, and we'll go from there. Yeah, and if you're wondering what I talk about, this is generally what I talk about. Yeah, industry talk and a little bit of JS and HTML and CSS. So I'll pop that back. Let's see. For anybody who has questions. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to get on with the show, if that's what you can call the hack job that I do. Let's see, I'm going to create a little more space there. Okay, so this is their page here. It's a little welcome. Encourages you to check out the README and so on. This video tutorial largely follows this. I did it a while ago. So yeah, this obviously video's age and the documentation is community driven. So lots of things I'm sure have improved. If you look here, I don't know, I think it was just a few weeks ago and it was just over 5,000. So I seem to recall somebody talking about how they had just crossed over 5,000. So there we go. We got our prerequisites. As soon as you're familiar with React, GraphQL, and the Jamstack, I'm not actually familiar with GraphQL, so we'll see how much of a lip stand I do. So in a moment here, I'm gonna switch over to the code, just so you know. But I wanted to give you a little bit of a walkthrough on what I'll be doing. So if you're ever lost or anything like that, you literally have to just go to here, click on whatever one I said I want last, and you'll know exactly where I am. Okay, let's hope that I don't completely smash this and it goes well. So let me just move that around. You won't see any movement until I switch code. There we go. Okay, I will be using OBS in the future, but not right now. Let's see. It's very interesting how I can't. There we go. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Just trying to get my little talking head down there at the bottom. So you can see I have a little to-dos there. I have an NVMRC. Installed that. Let's see what I have. Obviously, just do a copy here. Just super lazy. There we go. So we got some yarn and we got some Node. The Node part shouldn't be a shock to anybody who knows what this file does. Let's see now. Let's go down the documentation process. Let's see. Please do upgrade accordingly. Node needs to be over 12. I am 14 something, and yarn needs to be over 1.1, and I'm 1.2 something. Okay. I mean 1.15, sorry, and I'm on 1.22. Let's see. I think I'm going to make this a little bigger. I feel like people will struggle. Let's see. anybody's watching this, feel free to chat me and just say, hey, it's good, it's not good. Okay. I wish there was like a little thing like the browser where it says exactly what it is, but it doesn't do that. And so I don't actually know how big or how small it is. So it's hard to improve, actually. Okay. Please do upgrade accordingly. Install yarn, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So yeah, if you're on a Linux or a Mac, this is the process they recommend. Yeah, let's see here. Yarn, create Redwood. We'll be using yarn as requirement. Okay, so I'll just copy that. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm running this. This is from the installation and starting development page. A section, I guess is more accurate. I'm going to make this, should be doing a few of these things here. So what's happening here is if you look in the top left corner, it's no longer just to-dos. I actually have Redwood Blog, and that came from right here. So when you say yarn create Redwood app, the Redwood app is I believe the label that they assign inside the package.json. Redwood app, is it not? I thought it names it somewhere, but anyway, the main point is that then it creates wherever you say. A handy little trick that I didn't know when I first started developing is that lots of times I would create a folder like this manually, and I would say manual folder, whatever it would be, we call it, and then I would do a git clone or a yarn create, whatever, trying to install something. And what would happen is I'd end up creating a folder within a folder. And that was a real big pain in the neck. So when you have these situations and you did create the folder, what you can do is you can do this. And then just go dot, and it'll create within it. So then you would go not into Redwoods, you would go like this, you would go CD, manual, folder, and then you would so you delete that like that, and then it would create, let's say that. Oh, it doesn't like that. I guess that's okay. So now if I go into my manually created folder, I'll refresh, and there you go. You see how it created that? I found that a really handy thing. I don't know why, it just never occurred to me for a long time. So I'm going to kill the process, Control C, and I'm going to delete that folder. There we go. We're good. You won't see this, it's off screen, but I'm going to empty the trash. Okay. So let's go back up to prior to this test command, and let's look at what happened. Let's go here. Okay, so we ran it. That's this one right here. And resolving some patches, linking dependencies, installed great Redwood app with binaries, great stuff. It's always good to read through this when it's the first time. I mean, if you're doing like create React app or something, and you've done it 10 times or something like that, it's easy to just to not look at it. There's thousands of developers working on it, and you know what's supposed to be happening. But for me, when I do something brand new like this, or in this case, the second time I've ever done anything with Redwood, of which the first time was months and months ago, and it was pretty sad. So I'm not very good at it. So I'd like to see what's happening, where everything's going, where it's being installed, running yarn install. Thanks for your support. Created this here, enter the directory, yarn, okay, and run. Okay, so let's go like that. To start the development server, there's some quick start docs. Cool, they got a Discord community. It's better in Slack. Slack archives everything. Stay updated. Become a contributor. Cool. This is always cool. So I don't know if you know this, but if you hold down your command key and like a Windows key kind of thing, I think it might work. I don't think anything works with Windows key. Just Windows like pops open the bar. But on a Mac, if you hold down, like it's actually telling you, I don't know if you can see that when I hover. Yeah, I can. Okay. It says command click. And when you do that, it actually gives me an option to say, do you want code to open an external website? And it will actually open that for me so that I can see what, like all their issues and different stuff. Like basically the link, whatever the link is, okay? And then let's see what else. Okay, so now it's done. It took 55 seconds. So clearly my connection is so fast instead of a couple seconds. I'm going to close this terminal because this doesn't exist. I might as well just open it because I'm lazy. That's faster for me. Okay, so we did the yarn create. We're inside Redwood. We want to go into the Redwood blog because that's where we're going to work. I'm going to actually open a new one here. So what will happen is you'll see the code disappear for a second, and then I'm going to reshare it. Let's see. Got it. Okay. Now I got to share it with you all. And there we go. Golden. Oh, I have fans. There's 2 fans. Oh my goodness. Feel free to say hi. It's a lonely gig, this thing, when you're starting out to do this. And, you know, mostly I'm terrible. So I wish I was saying that so that people would say nice things, but it's really just a fact. Okay, here we go. I CD'd in. It says to run yarn dev. So this is the yarn dev. That's okay. It's not okay. You can copy and paste it. There, got it. Okay, running it up. I think it just did this one. I'm guessing this is a cache. Okay, now we're loading our basic website. I should probably show you this. I know I would be curious, especially if I'm just following, right? So let me just share that screen real quick for you. This is what you get on the live install. There we go. Cool. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Just to read it. Thanks for choosing Redwood Router. You're seeing this page because you don't have any custom routes yet. Routes depends on your language and vernacular. You can add a home page route like so. La 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 la. Cool. That seems like a pretty nice little zippity doo dah there. Okay, so I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to reshare my code. Really didn't think that it would be this hard going back and forth, but now I'm regretting it a little bit. So I do apologize. Yeah. Weird little. Okay, let's hope. Okay. Okay. All right, so it says where the project is running, running on localhost 8911. That's the API. So that's kind of cool. So let's, so something we could do, actually there's been a really cool extension for a while that I wanted to do. It's like REST API. I can't remember the exact name. Create a REST API using, I think this is the one where you just create the, you can make a request. JSON server, that's what it is, I think. Server. Let me just see if I can find it. Darn. This is rookie mistakes. Um, hmm. Create a REST API server. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's the same one. Damn. I knew there was a way of doing it. I've been meaning to do it for a while. How to use, install, yada, yada, yada. No, it's more configuration is necessary. There should just be one. You just drop in the request and you say something like get above. Postman runner or something. No. Oh, no. Oh, too bad. Stuck already. Coding is hard. Doesn't matter how good you get at it or what you think you know or whatever. All right. Well, let's move on because let's not torture ourselves with something that's not necessary. Okay. So I ran the yarn dev, Redwood dev. And then I would have liked to do, oh, that's neat. So yeah, I typed into the API and it actually has a bit of a render. So that's nice. So, and it runs the GraphQL API, GraphQL server. So I don't know if anybody's ever seen that, but if you check out the GraphQL server, like on Apollo or something, they'll show you there's like this little interface that you can check out. So yeah, good times. Okay, so we're moving along. Remembering the port number is easy. That's counting 8910. Okay, good stuff. See, let's do our first commit. Yeah, sure, let's do that. First commit, I like it. I'm going to split this. Yeah. I had actually upgraded my system to a new Mac M1. But there was a problem with the Bluetooth. So wouldn't recognize my Mac keyboard and my Mac mouse. So I just decided, who cares? Right? So it wants to talk about the API in the web. So this is how a Redwood project is broken up, is these two items here. Okay, so you have web, which is your front end, and API, which is essentially mediating with the back end. So let's see what we got here. So we got Babel. Okay, good stuff. Just good config stuff for chest, which is nice. What to include? JSX. Base 0. Okay. No real stuff that I'm expertise on. True. Sure. Okay. It's a mono repo, by the way this is set up. It'll become more obvious, I think, later on. So they have a cool forms thing. Routers built in, web, props. Full version behind, full version behind. Oh, full version behind. Interesting. Not the end of the world for sure. But I'm guessing that will impact if I look at the components. If there's anything in here that's pre-built in JSX. Yeah, there is. Let's see this. Import router. React ops. Yeah, so I think if you're importing that, then that means you're running the old React. I think they got rid of that with, I think maybe 17. Yeah, I can't remember. You know, like all things in life, you don't spend all of your time working on the bleeding edge of everything. And when you read about something, it just kind of falls away when you don't use it every day. So So everything's good here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, could have pressed the mute button on that one. Okay. Okay. So anyway, so they use Prisma. It's an open source tool that puts a GraphQL interface on SQL databases. Noteworthy databases are, in my opinion, Postgres and MySQL. I know it does a lot of other ones, but I think it's like 6 right now. Might be more. Who knows? Oh, look, there's even SQLite. That's true. SQLite 2, which is super, super good when you're just hacking around and goofing around on your own, because it's a good local database. Let's see here. Let's close that up till we have a need. Okay. Yarn extends, yada packages. Okay. Redwood, readme, that's fine. Toml. There we go. There's our ports. So if you want to customize those, there they are. And that's it. Okay. So I'm going to keep going down. So we're on the Redwood file structure. We just went through that a little bit. So now we're going to do, I'll read it out here. At the top level, we have 2 directories, API and web. Redwood separates the back end API from the front end, web concerns into their own path in the web base, in the code base. Yarn refers to these as workspaces. That's how you do the mono repo in Yarn. It's I'm guessing part of the reason why they're using Yarn is because it manages these sort of multiple repo, mono repo-y type scenarios. It's been like that, I think, for a year, so, or more maybe. I think that NPM recently brought out something that will do this for you, but many projects have already made the commitment. So if that's the path, why change? Let's see here. In Redwood, we refer to them as sides. Sure. Okay. So rather than workspaces, it's sides. When you add packages going forward, you'll need to specify which workspace they'll go in. Okay. For example, don't run these commands. We're just looking at the syntax. So, oh, that's a good thing I read that. I would have totally just run that. Maybe that's actually some change that I could make to their documentation UI, like maybe like a red box or something. Or maybe a red border. Yarn workspace web add marked. Okay, so it's saying a Yarn choose workspace web and then add the package marked. Okay, and the other example is Yarn workspace API. So add to the workspace API. Add better FS. Typically anything that says FS is file server. You see it in Node, FS everywhere. So the API directory, within the API, there are 2 directories, DB and source, which we already talked about. There they are, right there. Okay. Let's see. Functions will contain any Lambda functions your app needs in addition to the GraphQL.js. File auto-generated by Redwood. This file required to use the GraphQL API. Reading too much. My bad. So then they got a GraphQL section. Looks like contains your GraphQL schema. So, oh no, that's in source. There we go. So there it is, GraphQL schema. Okay. So what I only recently noticed this, and I thought that was really cool. So I don't know if anybody knows why this is there. So this is anytime you have a dot in front, it's a system file. And so the reason you have this or something like this is because if you're running Git and you have nothing inside of a folder, it does not acknowledge its existence. So if you're trying to create a skeleton structure that you can pass around to other programmers like this much, with this much structure built in, this is one of the ways that you do it. So this file is essentially empty. They're all empty. All those types of files will be anything with keep. There we go. So services is meant to be used, GraphQL is meant to be used, but Git won't acknowledge it unless there is a folder in there. And if you look, we did over on the right side of our terminal, you'll notice that in here there's probably services. Let's see, services keep. There you go. So it added it right here. And the reason that it got added is because of the keep. It says, oh, this folder actually has stuff. So that's important. It's a good trick, I thought. I never use that. Just create there's when I need folders. So okay, so web directory. The web directory. Okay, this goes up. The web directory. Let's see. It contains source and public. Source contains components, contain your traditional React components. Layouts contain HTML components that wrap your content and are shared across pages. Pages contain components and are optionally wrapped inside of layouts. Okay, so it looks like so components are like maybe like as small as like button, and so then that button is a single component, and then you would wrap that into progressively larger components, and then of course those would then go into pages, and then of course you have a page that has a header and a footer, and that's like on 95% of your pages. So that those elements that are on the 95% of your pages that are core structure, then you're probably going to put that into layouts. I'm just guessing based on the terminology and how I sometimes structure things like that. Index.css is a generic place to put CSS, but there are many options. Yep, of course there is, because you can always put it with each component. And you have index.html as a standard starting point for React, index.js, the bootstrapping code, routes, the routes definitions, which map to the pages. It's a little bit like, I think that's a little bit like Next.js, the way it does it a little bit there. Public contains all the static stuff. So let's see. Okay, so now we're on our first page. So let's go yarn generate page space home slash. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here. I'm pretty sure I got to shut down that server. Did not specify that I saw anywhere. There's no back pages to this thing. I don't know if anybody's thought of that. So let's see. Could just double check. We're looking at everything. Yeah, I don't see anything that says shut it down, don't shut it down. Oh, that's nasty. Okay, let's copy it again. I use Control U and it obliterates the line. Wow, what is the deal with that? Okay, that's not generally good. Okay, so let's just go, okay, generate. I don't like writing things. I don't want to have errors on, but it is what it is. Let's see. Ran it. There we go. Cool. So that created pages and then home. Or no, it didn't create pages. It created home. There we go. Homepage, homepage stories. So I don't know if anybody knows this, but they actually use Storybook. So let's see. Let me put that into a caption. Storybook. I think it's Storybook. Storybook. Story. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'll put it into a little snippet here. JS. And if you're curious, you can scope it out. There it is. Storybook.js. Pretty cool stuff. Really good isolation on your components. I don't really think it's that much extra labor. It's not like testing. When you do testing, people could say, and I've heard it a lot, they're like, oh, it affects my velocity. Okay, well, I mean, if you're kind of crap at something, it's definitely going to affect your velocity, right? If you, I don't know, I make, this is going to sound silly, but this is literally the definition of it. My wife makes breakfast in the morning and it takes half an hour to make the eggs and toast just because she never does it. I do it. And that's not a negative. Like, I make the breakfast. I just do the eggs and toast and I get it done. I'm done like in 7 minutes. It might be 8 minutes if I include the dishwashing in it, because I'm doing everything like coordinated and practiced, and the eggs are exactly the way they're supposed to be because I do it 360 days out of the year, probably -5 in there. And so it's fast. It's fast because I practice it. And testing, literally, it's more complicated than that, but it is no more complicated on the human brain in the sense that, like, once you get good at something, it's fast. So, yeah, write some tests. But aside from that, not to totally digress, but yeah, Storybook is really good. You can figure out what kind of component, let's say, you're using, you're trying to create a form, and you have a lot of little components like the buttons and fields and things like that, and you assemble them onto your Storybook. Well, the cool thing about Storybook is you can actually create all those little components, and then you can actually create like a parental component that you define. I'm trying to think how to say this. You will take all those children and you can assemble it into the parent component. So you didn't actually build the form. You did it kind of like you would do it in React, where you have like all these different components and all you do is import them and then do a little bit of HTML or whatever, a little sprinkle of CSS, and then all of a sudden you have a full form because you already have the input and you already have the buttons and everything like that. And that's the same in Storybook, except that it's in isolation, and so that you can see how it's going to look in isolation. Make sure your CSS is right in isolation. Okay? If you don't get the value of that, then totally just do some reading about it, because yeah, from my point of view, when you're talking about testing and you're talking about ensuring the UI looks the way it's supposed to look, and even from giving designers heart attacks about what's happening, you can show them Storybook and they can see this and they can relate to it. And Storybook even works with Figma, which a lot of designers will use. So they give you Figma and they expect you to build things that look like they're Figma, and you can actually import those components from Figma into Storybook. So you're literally looking at your version and their version. It's kind of like the terminal in our code, right? It's awesome how I'm hand talking, but you can't see me at all. There we go. So you have your code and you have your terminal, right? So in Storybook, you can have your component, right? And below that, you can literally have, in a separate window on the same page, you can have the Figma import of the exact same component. It's pretty great. I'm not going to pretend I use it very much. Not at all my choice. Not at all because I'm not interested. Not at all because I don't know anything about it. Just, I can't take questions on it. Like, yeah, I understand it. I like it. I use it when I can, at every opportunity, but I'm not a professional on it. So we digress. Let's go back to our nicely built page. Look at that. I did a stories, which is Storybook, did a test, and then I created the actual page. So let's look at our page. We'll make this a little smaller. Okay, then we got our link, our routes. Great. There it is. Route to home. Code home. Okay. Nice. Can I do preview? I never do preview, but in this case, I wonder if open browser preview. Can I do that? Can a real browser preview? There we go. Yeah, that's the one you want. Ah, I have that. Cool. Okay, let's go back to the code. Let's try preview. Open preview browser. Okay, because you can see that now. That's why I wanted to do it. Where is my... There it is. So sweet. Now I can show everybody as I go. Skills you learn in this. Okay, and let's open that. Split. Put that over there. There we go. Cool. Homepage. Is this homepage? Oh, that's because I didn't run it. Okay, hold on. Let's do that. Run dev. Running again. Refresh. Should be running up now. There we go. Yeah, okay, it's running. Let me refresh again. Sweet. That's our little code home right there. I don't know why it's coming in so fuzzy, but it is what it is. Something to share with you all over nothing. I'll take it. Let me just do my little OCD thing right now. There we go. Okay, that works. So let's go to the next one. So the next one on the list, where are we? So what does this command do? So the command does three things. It creates homepage.js, creates a homepage test.js, it creates the stories.js, and it adds a route in the web source routes. Okay, so let's go to web source routes. So where was it? There it is. Okay, I was looking for a folder. There it is. Homepage. Nice. That maps to the path slash. Right. So path slash. So I wonder, let's just for giggles, let's go like this and go same page. Let's do about over here. Go about. Let's see. There we go. And then test. Crashes. Yeah, there we go. It does a nice little 404. Test. Ah, man, like boilerplate city, right? This is great. Great. It's named home. Test. Let's keep that just in case. And then let me go back up here. What did I run? Generate home. Oh, let's do that. Let's do that again. Let's create a test one. Let's create test. So it was page home. So let's go page test and route test, right? So I better delete this first. I don't want to bugger up the system. I don't even know how to back out. So there we go. Page test. Okay, so it creates it. Let's go back to pages. Test page. Test page. Everything looks the same. Let's go back to test page. Do we say anything? Test page. Okay. Let's see. Test page. Refresh. Nice. Oh, that's great. I don't know who else thinks it's great. Well, I think that's great. Let's go back to my routes again. And there it is. Nice. Testing. Oops. Test. Oh, okay. It's got something. See, this is why it's good to break stuff. You just never know. Okay. I just can't handle stock. So, hey, I am Mr. It's pretty ego-driven that I just did that. My bad. Okay, let's do that. So next item. Geez, I really wonder who these people are that are following me. It just never happens. People that I didn't invite actually coming. Wow. I don't even know how I could be this entertaining. Okay. Maybe I'm so bad. Open web source roots, blah, blah, blah. So let's go over here and take a look at the route created. That's that one. They're talking about trying to change the route to something like, okay, so change the route to something like hello. Okay. As soon as you add your favorite route, you'll never see the initial splash again. Okay. So if I go back to here, there we go, it's gone. And then I go hello, and there it is. Okay. We got that nailed down. Let's not goof around about it anymore. Okay. And what we did get is we got the not found page. So if it's not found, it'll load. That's this not found. Then it'll load the not found page. And if we go to the not found page, dangerously set international quality 404. So let's do something here. Just add a T. There we go. 404 page. What? Sorry, but your page is not. There we go. There. Should I break with all my students? All the advice I tell them, I tell them never ever use a BR tag for styling. Oh, such a bad teacher. Such a bad teacher. Just I shouldn't say teacher, I should say mentor. Okay, see, hello, got it. Yeah. Change it back to the root. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's go back. Let's keep that one though, because that's fun. Gotta keep things interesting. Okay, the next one, Yard generates page about. Okay, so they want us to generate an about page. That's cool. Let's do that one. Ooh, I get it. Oh, I remember this. Okay, so notice here, look, let's go back up. Did you notice up here I said /test? But they have a thing that does this. Look at that. Watch it. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So there's the, there we go. So I did the about page, right? No slash. See, no /test. I did about, just about. And check this out. It still does about page, yada, yada, yada. And if I go to routes, where is it? About. Look at that. It does the whole thing. Route. This is cool. That's cool. Does that all for you. Little things that make your life easier, right? Okay, so I generated the page. Notice that I didn't specify a path. Okay, as long as they're linked, like semantically, I guess. Semantically, I don't know if that's really the right word, but if it can be implied, then it will be that, right? So it's like when you say portfolio in your route, but then the file is called clients, that wouldn't work. But if you have portfolio as a route and portfolio as the name of the file, then you're probably golden. Okay, code splitting each page. As you, I'm gonna have to read this one because this is actually news to me. As you add more pages to your app, you may start to worry that more and more code has to be downloaded by the client on any initial page load. Fear not, Redwood will automatically code split on each page, which means that Initial page loads can be blazingly fast, and you can create as many pages as you want without having to worry about impacting overall Webpack bundle size. If, however, you do want specific pages to be included in the main bundle, you can override the default behavior. Okay. Should show on your new page. Okay, so the About page should show on your new page. We didn't do that, but sure, let's do that. We're goofing around lots. There it is. Say, but no one's going to find it. Yeah, here we go. We're going to do a little bit of nav. Find it by manually changing the URL. So let's add a link from our home page to the About page and vice versa. Cool. So I got to go to the home page right here. Okay. We'll start creating a simple header and nav bar at the same time on the home page. Okay. So I got my link, my routes. I got a header and main. Okay. So I'll just nuclearize this. I'm going to comment it out. I'm not a really big fan of deleting when I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So, okay, let's go header, and they use a small letter. So I'm guessing this is not a component. H1, there we go. A Redwood blog, Redwoodjs blog. Okay, and then they want a nav. So okay, so it's a nav in the header. Right? Okay, should be a nav in the header probably. Let's see, got a UL and an LI, and then that's good. And then now we're using link that we imported. You see up here, let me just comment this out so it doesn't. So you see that link, that's the big L right here. So we're doing that. Okay, so it's not complete. That's why all the red lighting below is sort of the disadvantage to real-time error checking. Routes, out, because most of your code doesn't work for most of the time. Okay, we got that. Closing the nav, header, nope, header is good. So then we have a main. Okay, so main. Okay, and this is the home page. So I just go over here. Oh, what did I do? Yeah, I did homepage. I did slash. What did I do? Routers not defined. Routers. Did I do routers instead of routes? Routes. Oh, I did routes. Routes. See what happens when you don't copy and paste? Nice. How many routes do we have? We have test. Okay, let's do test. Sneak it in. Test. Let's refresh. Nice. Notice how it's actually refreshing on its own. Let's check this out. There we go. Hot reload is the bomb. It was there. And then I'm going to go back. Go there. That's nice. I like it. Okay. So that's what we did. Everything is good here. Okay, so I'll delete this now because everything is golden. Let's point out let's go here. There we go. So am I still? Yeah, there. Okay. Let's point out a few things here. Redwood loves functional components. It says function components, but I'm pretty sure that's what they mean is functional. We'll make extensive use of React hooks as we go, and these are only enabled in functional components. You're free to use class components, but we recommend avoiding them. Okay. Redwood's link tag in its most basic usage takes a single to attribute. That to attribute calls a named route function in order to generate the correct URL. So when they say named, I'm pretty sure they're referring to this see the name. So if I go, I wonder, sorry, we were doing it earlier, right? It broke. I wonder, I don't know, mojo's going on in there to cause that. I have to learn more about it. That's cool though. So yeah, the about one, there it is. They do the about. The function has the same name as the name attribute and route. Okay, so name and name, or label and label instead of name and route. Okay, so if you don't like the name that Redwood generates used for your route, feel free to change it in Route.js. Okay, name routes are awesome because if you ever change the path associated with a route, you need only change it in routes, and every link using a named route function will still point to the correct. Okay. So the string to the two. Okay, so if I go, let's see what happens here. But if I do that, it'll break. Why is that saying it'll break? It doesn't seem to be saying it's going to break over there, though. I like it. It's interesting. By I like it, I mean, that's not intuitive why this is breaking immediately obvious. But I like how it works so easy. And once you understand it better, I imagine that it's only convenient. Okay, so back home. So we go back to our, once we get to the About page, we don't have any way back. Right. So we have to go to the About page. Let's open that. Son of a gun, I did that. That's a big boo-boo. There we go. No, I want a full size. Okay, so we're at the About page, and now they want, okay, I'm going to copy and paste this one because this one seems like it's more of the same. Let's see if it'll paste into my code. That is so bizarre. Why would it do that? Okay, let me do the let me try the copied version. Okay, that works. There we go. I guess. So yeah, there we go. So we got our Redwood blog, Redwood. I think I said Redwoodjs. There we go. See it right there. But we got our roots. We're on the About page. So okay. So let's go to the About page and see what happens. Okay, and then return home. Okay, that's what we got down here. Okay. Go to the About page. There it is. That's okay. As a world-class developer, you probably saw that the copy and pasted header and gasped in disgust. Yes, because I'm a world-class developer. But I appreciate the humor. That's why Redwood has a little something called layouts. Cool. Now we get to learn about layouts. Nice. So we're done. We're almost halfway. So yeah, I'm stoked. One way to solve the header dilemma would be to create a header component and include it in your About and About home and About page. That works, but there's a better solution. Ideally, blah, 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 should be, this is that layout thing. Remember when I was saying if you use something everywhere, it should be the same. So if you're on the Redwoods page, definitely check out the layout section because it does a good explanation on how it goes layout page and then your components. And I think that people will find that useful to understand visually how that works. So let's go here again. This time I've been keeping the server running and there's been no issues. I think they've clearly done a good job sorting out those kinds of issues. So here we go. We got this created, the layout. So that goes to layouts. And it created a blog layout because it called it blog. And so that's the leading name and then layout. Okay. So this would be cool because if you had a typical blog, right, would have something like not that. You'd have like maybe like a page view. So let's say page. And then that would be like your static pages, because you have your blog, right? Like that's the rolling content. But your homepage and your contact page, let's say, they're not like that. They're pages. Or your portfolio page, probably not like that. So those are pages, right? And then, so that would be something you might do. So there you go. So now you have a page layout and a blog layout. That's cool. I like it. All right, before I keep breaking stuff, generate shorthand. Ooh. Oh, okay. So before I've been using, there we go. So if we change it and we just go G, it'll run it. Okay, I don't want to do that though. That's cool. So G can be shortened. That's cool. I could totally see myself screwing that up big time. Cut the header from both the homepage and about page. Okay. Let's grab that. So header. Okay, and then save, and then I'm going to go to the blog layout. I'm guessing you go here, and then I'm going to wait for a second and catch up with the instructions. Let's take out the duplicate main tag as well. Cut the header from both. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, so cut the header from pages, and then homepage. Okay, so home header. Oh, I don't want that one. I want this one. This is the good one. And I think it wants me to delete the main in this case. Okay, so let's just nuke it. And then nuke this one. I just want to comment out. A little bit of fun there. Can I just not keep my fun? Okay, so I go to blog layout. Okay, and I got to import. Let's see here. Import link, because I'm going to use links, right? I have links, and I need to engage my routes. So let's see at Redwood. Oh, I'm going to have to pause this. I do not know who's at the door, but in an epidemic, there could be an issue. Okay, I'll be right back. Right on. So let's see what we got going on. Okay, so let me get back on track. Where was I? We're due. Oh, blog layout. Okay, blog layout. So we got the blog layout. And cut the patterns. Yeah. We want to go to our blog layout, and we want. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so there is an issue. If I do, you see how it all went dark like that? Okay. So the reason, let me just touch this up a smidge, just so that you see that it's main like that, and then want children inside of main. Okay. So the reason why it doesn't work is because you're returning on this line right here. Okay, so anything after return dies. Okay, so if we comment out, There it goes. It all comes back. But now nothing is being returned. Okay. This is just code sitting there. So nothing would happen. Nothing. Right. Okay. It's probably not working, by the way, on the right, just for other reasons, but it's convenient for me to use that as a reason at this moment. So if we want our return to work and we're doing multi-line, what we want to do is do this. And so inside those brackets, you're saying all of the stuff that's included, you need to execute all this essentially. Okay. It's a great way for having long code and needing to specify being returned. By the way, there's another way of doing this. You can do this. You can, because the fat arrow, it has an implicit return, you can actually say like that. Go like that, and then go to the bottom like that, and then the code will still work. Because you're implicitly returning and then executing everything here. So you don't actually need braces. But you know, let's not breach their process. So let's stick with what they have. So everything's good. Let's save it. There we go. Okay. Golden. Let's see, Redwood Blog, blah, 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 blah. So passing in the children. So this is these brackets here are like this. So in React, you have a global object essentially called props, or is represented as props all the time. So you'll see it in code like this. You'll see something like this, props. And so let's pretend up here, this is just a virtual conversation. Pretend I went to the whiteboard and we were talking. So inside of our props, we might have many different things because it's an object, right? So it might be like this. Might say name, blog, who knows? Could be anything. Blob. It could have an email address associated with it. Email. It could have an ID associated with it. Doesn't matter. It can have anything in it, right? Because it's a global object that React uses. And when I say global object, I'm being a little bit liberal with the word because it's not technically true, but. And so when you see children, what you're actually seeing is this. And then probably basing on what I can see here, children. Yeah, so then on here, there might be some string, could be some array. What's in the children is not so important at this moment in what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to point out is that instead of saying props, passing in props, and then saying const children like this, and going props, or another version on this, which is to go const children, and then props dot children. Instead of doing those two lines like that, you just say, I want just children from props. So I say children. And it's done. Now we have just children from props. This is super handy. I love doing it this way. It can kind of be a mother every once in a while for different reasons, but one of the big reasons I like it is because this is really clear out of all the things that could be on props, what the heck is that developer supposed to be using in this component? That is like crystal clear. And it doesn't stop them from pulling in IDs. So they could just go up here and be like, yeah, I made an addition to this component, and now we need ID. It still works, but it does reduce the noise of other things and distractions about what could be going on. So if you have just props like this, and then you have a bunch of brouhaha down here equals props, right, like that, or a sign from props, it's just messy. It's just messy. Why would you want to do that if you don't have to? So this is the best, in my opinion, for that reason. Clarity of purpose, clarity of intent, and everything. Same with, for me, I will almost universally do this. But let's stick with the tutorial, right? So who knows what I could be doing accidentally that could cause friction down the road, and I just don't know. So, okay, so we got that one. We got the blog layout, children. Okay, children is where the magic will happen. Any page content given to the layout will be rendered here. Back to homepage and about. Okay, so let's go back to homepage. We add the blog layout, so that means I'm guessing we're going to have to do an import. Yeah, we are. We're going to go blog layout, right? Because blog layout, yeah, from. Is there a shorthand for this? Source? Nope, there isn't. Okay. And source layout. Layouts. Sorry, my bad. Blog layout. There we go. Okay. And then we take this one over here, and we do blog layout, and like that. So they do a non-self-closing tag because they want to pass in what was it, home, and then the blog layout like that. I didn't put a closer in there. My bad. So like this. That should work now. There we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. What did I do? Okay, so I definitely don't need the router. Back to blog layout. Let's go here. And then I'm going to go here. Single line, right? Don't need that. So over here. There we go. I think their example even does it without that. That's good. Okay, so we got, what are we going to, cannot read, ooh. Cannot read property. Okay, so that's, okay, so blog layout line 11. Blog layout line 11. Okay. Cannot read property. Routes. Yeah. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm gonna definitely nuke this. Just always eliminate. Okay, so I got the header and I got my children. I got my children up here. Got my link, imports. Shouldn't need that. There we go. Okay, let's do that. Let's go back to routes. Because remember I was goofing around with my routes. Where is my routes? Right, routes. About and test. Let's just get rid of that one. So I got home. Home and about. Home and about. That's what we're working on. Home and about. Links and routes. Ooh, what happened here? That's not what we want. Let's go here. Did I do that on the other one? There we go. Huh. Go figure. Home. Cool. Let's see. We got home, about. There you go. And then this one, we're going to go about. Refresh. And then that one, about. There we go. And then we go back to blog layout, and then we're going to go to here, and then we're going to say home, and then home. Right? There we go. So home, about, there we go. Sweet. Are we on home? There we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Panic sets in. Let's see. Let's finish up that one. Yada, yada, yada. It's not saying anything about getting rid of this, but we definitely see we have a redwood over there. That's weird. So bizarre up here. There we go. Smidge. I'm always conflicted about deleting to the first line. I don't actually like having it all smushed like that, but whatever. Okay, we are on the about page. Oh, they want us to write some more stuff. So let's go back to the about page and no, I'm going to use mine. There we go. And I'll make it a mess. Just bear with me a second while I clean up my own mess. Let's see. I'll fix it. This is what always turns into a gong show. Let's see. So I got all that done. Got that. And then I want the link. Okay, so I do need to have back my link stuff. Let's go up here, though. I just want to have my full H1 and that. Maybe H2. So that way, that's great. And then I'm going to delete all this. Let's see here. Yeah, this should be the link. Yeah, the link is not defined. Okay. Let's go back here where I did it. I was on about page, right? I don't think I need. Yeah, I do. I need roots too. Okay. Boom. Boom shakalaka. Nice. And that's my about right there. I think that's it. Let's give it a squiggle. Nice. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, cool. Notice that the import statement uses just src, not ... because technically if you look at the about page, you have to come all the way up to pages, up to where were we? What? Yeah, all the way up to pages, into the source root, and then you go to routes, layouts. So you go up to pages and then over. So that means at least 2 ... Yeah, you'd have ... up into about page, and then you ... up to pages, and then you'd have the crossover. So it'd be like 2 sets of ... So it'd be like something like this, and then something like that. Something like this. Or have that. We just say source, and then it knows where to look. I like it. If you don't know how to navigate your folders, that could be bad. But I think you'd learn pretty quick. Being able to use just source is a convenience feature provided by Redwood. Source is an alias to the source path in the current workspace. So if you're working in web, then source points to web source. And if you're an API, it's API source. Back to the browser, and you should see nothing different, but that's good. It means our layout is working. Why are things named the way they are? Okay. Yeah, I would read about that. Maybe I'll read a little bit. You may have noticed some duplication of Redwood's file names. Pages live in a directory called pages and also contain page in their name. Same with layouts. What's the deal? When you have dozens of files open in your editor, it's easy to get lost, especially when you have several files with names that are similar or even the same. they happen to be in different directories. We found that extra duplication in the names of files is worth a productivity benefit when scanning through your open tabs. This completely makes sense to me. I have literally had this problem. If you're using React Developer Tools plugin, this also helps disambiguate when browsing through your component stack. That makes sense as well. So back home again, we got our, let's see, we go back to the home page. Home page looks like, okay, so they want to make the header in blog layout, your Redwoods header here, they want to make that a link. That's cool. Let me just grab the piece, the minimum amount of code. You'll notice how I always indent and I always go vertical. This is literally how I roll. And we gotta go slash. Let's see. There we go. So now that'll take you home every time. Boom, boom. Nice. Okay, that's good. Got the about. Maybe we could even add test. Probably broken because I commented about test. I usually have something test related word, and it's mostly just because that's where I break stuff. There we go. Boom. Nice. The one thing I didn't do with the test is I did not import the blog layout. Okay. I gotta go with test page, test page. Okay, I hope everybody's following what I'm doing. Test. So test is good. Test has everything. Might as well just nuke this section. And then maybe this section. Test page. But with the ego in with there we go. That's nice. Okay, let's rock and roll. Okay, I'm gonna finish this section, and then we can remove the extra return to home link. There's an extra link that was had the about page. That's because they're talking about this. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I might leave that there now. Did I do it both? No, I didn't. Did I do it in this one? No. Okay, so there we go. Go here, go here, go here. Oh, we're golden. This is great. Okay. Okay. Oh, they have a nice little blurb. Let's put that on the test page. There. Test. There we go. This is bad form to actually have 2H. It's got to have H2. There we go. This is an H1 as far as I can recall. If you go back to a blog layout, that's an H1. Never want to do more than one H1 on a page. Okay, so we got it. We're golden. All right. Tutorial part 2. We're only on part 2, and there's like 6. 4. 6, 4. Tomato, tomato. Okay, these are the 2 pages. These 2 pages are great and all, but where they are the actual blog posts in this blog, let's get those. Okay, so this is actually a good spot to take a pause. I need a break. This has been going for a while, so I'm gonna take a break. And maybe spin up another session, maybe today. I might do another one. And just keep going with this, but I need a break. Can't say it enough. to those two people who are participating that I don't seem to, I don't know how I can't see anything. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for being here, and hopefully I'll be back later this afternoon. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Put some of these in before I jet. Okay. And if you need a reminder, then there's this. Okay, that's where we are. And I'm stopping at the top of getting dynamic. Okay.